I met this dude in the city, and basically we were having a conversation, and he talks to me about power of the tongue and how whatever you say will happen verbally, or whatever you see happening for yourself will happen, right? And it was just as simple as this. I was having a conversation, and then the conversation led up to me expressing how I don't like to drive during like the daytime because of the traffic, right? He stopped me right there. And he told me the importance of basically telling yourself and imagining yourself and talking as if everything will work out for you. Me, I believe in calculated risk. I be hard on myself, so it'd be hard to think like that sometimes. Like, you often give yourself, like, you shut down the possibility of a positive outcome before it even happened. So I'm talking about the traffic, and he was like, what if there's no traffic? And we stay in Atlanta. I'm like, but it was deeper than that. Like, he told me, you shutting down the car ride before it even happens. Why are you speaking it into existence about it being traffic and you not enjoying your experience of take your journey wherever you need to go in the car? And I learned a lesson that day, because even though it wasn't no big deal, like, this is a small thing, traffic is a small thing. But it's just the way how he expressed to me, he look at every little thing like it's gonna work out, and then thinking like that for small things essentially eventually will lead you to think like that for the bigger things. Of course, everything will coexist within each other. What if it does work out, What if you get the dream life you always imagine for yourself? What if you really become that person that you'll see yourself as in the future? What if everything goes to plan? And I feel like if you start telling yourself that, you will start pouring into yourself more. Your actions will become that throughout the words that you speak through your mouth. Pretty simple math if you really think about it. Probably like a month ago, I had a tooth extraction experience, right? I've been needing to get this tooth pulled for a long time. It was just nagging pain. Y'all know how tooth pain is. It was a nagging pain, but it wasn't severe enough for me to go to the hospital or anything like that. So boom, fast forward one day, I just do it. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I didn't do it. I was thinking about the cost. I was thinking about the time. I was thinking about, the recovery time, when you get your teeth pulled, when you go to sleep, you got to recover, you got to miss work, you got all that. I was putting off the tooth extraction, essentially my health and essentially my well-being, all because I was shutting it down way before I even let the junk happen, right? The day I finally decided to get up and do it, I made the appointment, I paid, I got my insurance and provided my insurance information, and I woke up from the surgery. This all happened in the span of 5 hours maybe. And I took 2 or 3 years to get a 5-hour process done. Because when I told myself that day, okay, we're going to handle it this day, I wasn't worried about the pain, I wasn't worried about the cost, I wasn't worried about the insurance. I was thinking everything will work out in your favor. And the whole experience exceeded my expectations. Now I don't get them little headaches no more. It don't tweak with me no more. Now I can focus on other things besides that minor tooth pain. Taking runs in the city, right? I always wanted to be like rich, successful, in shape, eating fruits, out in the sun. I've always wanted to be an active person with money. So I stay in a very crowded area. I stay in the city. And I always wanted to take a city run. Like them people who, run past and they running with their dog, or they got on the whole fit, the sports bras, and they got down tight ass shirts and shorts and the running shoes and a water bottle and the sports glasses. I always want to be like them people. I'm not gonna lie, hell jealous. But what comes with that comes with people looking at you for a split second. You overthinking about the route, or you overthinking about passing by cars and stuff like that. And one day, after having a conversation with this dude, I just started trying everything. After the conversation, I just told myself, what if it does work out? Yo, I walked outside, my glasses, I had my water bag, I had my running shoes, I had my shorts, I had my Yo, I went out running by myself. The shit was amazing. And then I didn't even know this, but you learn things about yourself, and going on runs and things clear your mind. And I knew this, but I was just too afraid to go do the shit, right? It's gonna be other people running the trails, and you're gonna be running past cars, dogs, bikes, all type of stuff. So it was literally just the fear of being seen. Ever since I started running, everything took up to the moon. Like, I started working out better, I started sleeping better, I started pumping up my videos how I was supposed to. I started, you know what I'm saying? And this is off of a year, maybe 2 years off of just being scared of basically being seen running in the city. And these two little small things led me to where I am now, back making my videos, back working out, back eating good, back cooking for myself. This practice that I'm sharing with y'all, I practiced it in a small ways, and now I'm becoming the person I always wanted to become, and it's leading up to the big ways. Before I even start changing things, the number one thing I had to change was I started talking about my dreams like they was inevitable. Like it was just part of my story, like it was just written in the stars for me. I didn't worry about jobs, I didn't worry about appearance. Shoot, I had locked up my hair. Like, I start moving like not in a delusional way and not in a risky way, but in a calculated, like I had the perfect balance of delusion and I had the perfect balance of taking action to equivalent to that delusion. That recipe literally stacked on my days. Before the running, before the working out, before the focusing on one thing at a time and really all this, the first thing I did was I stopped predicting failure and I stopped not even giving myself a chance, right? I did some research on these findings about why we tell ourselves no before, we even take action. And I learned that the body can't tell the difference between a joke and between, what you're serious about. So say you telling yourself out loud, I don't look the best, or I'm not the best in shape. You're going to grow to be insecure because, you're talking, every time you speak out loud, you're talking to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind essentially is you, and that will show through your actions. So if you're talking negatively about yourself, it will start to show in your actions. You don't believe you look the best, so you're going to, your appearance going to go down. You're not going to prioritize washing your face. You're not going to prioritize taking care of your teeth. You're going to start making excuses for not doing things like that. You're not going to prioritize working out or eating how you're supposed to eat because you're constantly speaking out loud about how you can't do something or how you can't achieve nothing. So your body takes it in because it can't tell the difference between a joke and between you being serious. So I don't joke about my future. I don't joke about being productive. I don't joke about scratching things off my checklist. So after I realized that, I just started talking to myself positively, and then I started taking action. But before I just started taking action, I had to tell myself, I had to get my mental right. I had to prepare my mind for this journey I'm finna take it upon. And I'm literally like riding off a high. I'm riding off a high of productivity and a high of positivity. Like, I don't play about this, and I literally tell myself, what if it goes to plan? Like, y'all, it's even down to the small things. Like, I don't know, I would want to go to the gym, but it'll be 9 o'clock and it closes at 10 o'clock. I don't even tell myself, what if I don't have enough time? I grab my shit and go before I can even think about a negative thought. Even if I don't believe it at that moment, I make myself do it. I make myself believe, you know what I'm saying? Either through my actions or, through my words. I make myself believe it. If that's what you believe in out loud, these are things you will achieve out loud and, when no one's watching, when the door closed. You get what I'm saying? On car rides, when I'm late to class, when I'm taking a ride that I really don't want to take, but I have to take, I always try to vision whatever I'm finna attack or whatever I'm finna pursue. I always vision it in the highest light possible. Like, I put it in the spotlight. I romanticize these small parts of life because the small parts of life, they add up. They lay down like bricks and you essentially built your temple. But all these small wins started to add up, and now I don't even think the other way. I don't think, well, if it's not gonna work out, I don't think about no plan B for real. I don't think about, this not gonna work, so I'm gonna have to cut back on buying stuff. I don't think about cutting back on nothing. I think about achieving more and attracting more. I don't think about keeping a female around that don't need to be around because I won't come across another one. Certain things really don't even cross my mind. Even for me, it was going to the gym alone. The gym is vulnerable. You sweating, you focus, throwing up weight, you don't know if you're gonna hit or not. Like, it's kind of a vulnerable place, and the same as running in the city. What if it goes great? What if you have a great workout? What if you have a great run? What if you meet people in there? What if you even inspiring people in the gym? You know what I'm saying? What if you inspiring other people that's in the gym? Like, I literally think about things like that. I don't allow myself to think anything less. I can't even let the negative thoughts fill my head. It's like impossible at this point, but I had to build up to that, of course. You got to take some resilience against the devil on your shoulder. What if it does work out? However you do it small, that's how you're going to do it big. So I don't even play like that. I don't even play like that, and you should not either. You know what I'm saying? Because why are you predicting your failure before it even comes? Why are you making up imaginary issues in your head before you even give yourself a chance to experience that in its highest light? It's pointless. And you gotta do some soul searching to find out why you do it or find out how you specifically need to stop. But all in all, it's pointless. Being on this journey is like, not everything gonna go to plan. Everything not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna do everything 100% right. But if you never even speak yourself into doing it in the first place, you right back where you started. If I was to push off making a video, if I was to talk myself into not doing videos because I'm nervous about how my voice might sound or how my face might look on the camera, I'm already back where I started. I'm not gonna make the video, just how I haven't been making the video. So you're not gaining anything. And you're either going up or going down in life. There's no staying stagnant. So if you're not progressing, you are regressing. You are. Because the more you say no to yourself, the more you don't chase your dreams, the longer time passes you. So even though you're not progressing, maybe you ain't been on your shit for 6 months. And even though you don't think you going down or you going up, if time passes you by, 6 months turn into, oh, you ain't been on your shit for 2 years and 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So now you 2 years and 6 months wasted because you tricked yourself into thinking, oh, I'm not going up, but at least I'm not going down. The more time go by without you chasing your dreams, shit, you are going down because we're not getting number older. You feel me? Like, if you don't attack that shit, the worst that can happen is you don't achieve it. But if you never try, you haven't achieved the shit. Just how you haven't tried, you haven't achieved the shit. So there's no point in not going to chase that shit. You're already living in the worst case scenario. And since you're already living in the worst case scenario, there's no real risk or no real loss, into believing what you need to believe in, into going after your dreams and chopping that shit down, which way will you allow your mind to think? Really push the decision to force your mind to look at this conflict in front of you. Make yourself look at this thing, no matter how big or how small, in the most positive light as you could look at it as. If you imagine it in the most positive light, you could fall short, but even if you fall short, you still landing near where you need to land. Or even if you fall short, you're still landing in the right direction. If this video don't go viral, I learned what not to do. I learned what I liked about the video. I'm testing out the mic, I'm testing out the camera. If I don't like this angle, or if this angle don't attract well to people, it's no loss in trying, because I'm gonna watch the video back, I'm gonna correct my errors, I'm gonna adapt to it. But if I never tried it in the first place, I can't make no errors to adapt to. Always ask yourself, what if it does work out? As simple as that. What if it do go the best way it could go? What if I do achieve everything I've been hoping to achieve? And what if I do reach that goal and achieve that goal? With me and dude, that's a conversation I'll never forget. And that's something I've been living by, and that's something that's been changing my ways and something that's been changing the way I look at things. So thank y'all for watching.